CapCut for iPad is not just a mobile video editor, but almost a full-fledged replacement for a computer. I use it in real work, edit videos while traveling and away from home, and in this review I will tell you whether it's worth switching to CapCut Pad and who it's really for. At the moment there are as many as 3 versions of CapCut. The first one is for computer, PC or Mac. The second version is for phones on Android and iOS, and recently the developers released a new version made specifically for iPad tablets, appropriately called CapCut Pad. If you look at the interface of this video editor, it's almost identical to the desktop version. We have the main screen where you can see all projects, log into your account and change various settings. When you open a project, you get the familiar editor interface. Media files on the left, the media player in the center, additional video information and settings on the right, and of course the timeline at the bottom, where you can see video tracks, audio tracks, effects, text and everything else. I'll show you a few useful things that will help you create more professional videos. The first is the ability to customize the workspace for vertical format. This way you can see a vertical video better and work with it more precisely, which is very convenient. You also get volume levels and a full waveform for more serious audio work, something many people miss in the mobile version of CapCut. I've already said that CapCut is not just a video editor, but a real Swiss Army knife. You can not only edit videos, but also generate content. For example, photos and videos, synthesize voices and avatars, and use other features powered by neural networks. And honestly, this is very convenient because you don't need access to dozens of different services in different places. Almost everything is available in this one convenient app. On top of that, you can not only create media materials, but also edit them into full-fledged videos with music, voiceovers, effects, graphics, and produce a finished product. So, why did ByteDance, the company behind CapCut, even make a version of this editor for tablets? After all, you can install the mobile version on a tablet too. As I understand it, the company wants to cover the entire device market. There is already a program for PC, there is one for phones, but there wasn't a dedicated tablet version. And it might seem unnecessary, who even edit videos on a tablet when there is a laptop. In reality, there is people who don't buy laptops and instead choose tablets for their tasks. For example, artists who draw on tablets. They usually choose either 11-inch or 13-inch models. There are also people doing creative or technical work who prefer tablets simply because it's more convenient for them. At the same time, they need to edit videos, but the mobile version of CapCut is quite limited and not very comfortable on a large screen. And this is where a full-featured tablet video editor comes in. With large screen editing, support for keyboard, trackpad and Apple Pencil, the ability to work on large projects and even generate videos. It seems to me that this is exactly the direction ByteDance is heading. Right now the app is in beta, so all features are free. And that's a great opportunity to try for free what is paid on phone or computer. Now let's talk about how convenient it actually is to work on an 11-inch tablet in such an editor. Look, I do have a computer, you can see it right now, it's my Xiaomi laptop. It's quite old, heavy, bulky and its battery life is already poor, so I rarely take it anywhere and mostly use it as a stationary computer. But I do travel sometimes and I often work outside the house, for example in cafes. I like working in busy places, editing videos, writing scripts and doing other routine tasks. Instead of my bulky laptop, I take my iPad Air M2. It's light, compact and at the same time 11 inches is far more comfortable than a phone, which I used before for editing when I went to work in cafes. For me, a tablet is something in between a phone and a computer, and it turned out to be exactly the tool I needed to become more efficient and creative in my blogging work. Another advantage of CapCut is the ability to transfer projects between devices. That means I can start working on a project on my laptop, upload it to the cloud and continue editing on the tablet. or I can start on my phone or tablet and then continue on my computer. As far as I know, no other editors has this level of integration. As for convenience, I wouldn't say that editing for many hours on a tablet is comfortable. No, posture and screen size still matter, so for serious projects I continue to use my laptop. But for smaller projects on the go or in public places it's quite comfortable. On my phone I usually work with vertical content and make very simple videos, basically stories. That's why the tablet fits perfectly into my workflow. You may ask, why not just use the mobile version of CapCut on a tablet? It does exist and I used it before, but it has many downsides. First, the interface is not adapted for tablets. Some icons and fonts are too small, while projects previews are huge. When you enter in full screen, the app shrinks into a mobile-sized window in the middle of the screen, then expands back to full screen. When working with text, almost the entire video is covered and you can see the text properly. In short, mobile CapCut is made strictly for phones. For tablets, CapCut Pad is clearly the better option. In fact, I have several video editors on my iPad. I also use Adobe Premiere, Meitu, VN and Final Cut Pro, and you know, each of these editors is strong in its own way. I have tried all of them and worked with each quite extensively. The last one I really liked was Final Cut Pro for iPad. I even made a separate review about it. It turned out quite interesting, but Final Cut Pro cost €6. CapCut also costs €6. The difference is that CapCut is available on all devices, while Final Cut Pro exists only on Mac and iPad. There is no Final Cut Pro for phones. That's where I faced a dilemma of what to choose. I came to the conclusion that in my case CapCut makes more sense. It costs the same €6, is available on all devices in different versions, and also includes video generation and many other useful features. So I switched from Final Cut Pro on the tablet and started using CapCut everywhere on my computer, tablet and phone. CapCut Pad is not available on Android and most likely never will be. There are too many different Android tablets with different processors, GPUs, RAM, screen resolutions and other specs. It's simply very difficult for developers to adapt software to all these models. At the same time, iPads are extremely popular, possibly the most popular tablets in the world. That's why it's much easier to develop software specifically for iOS. But there is also a plus. Here, CapCut is very well optimized for Apple hardware. The app uses the full computing power of the tablet. As you know, M1, M2 and M3 chips are very powerful and fast. iPads have strong GPUs, and all of this allows CapCut to work smoothly with heavy files, large projects, multiple tracks and layers, graphics and other complex operations. Now for the downsides. When exporting a video, if you minimize the app or switch to another one, the export is paused. As far as I understand, this is not CapCut limitation, but an iOS limitation that slows background processes. Another major downside of all CapCut versions is regional dependence. Some features available in certain countries may not be available in others, which causes confusions. To sum it up, who is CapCut Pad for? It's for those whose iPad is a main or secondary work tool. In my case, it's a secondary tool, but one I do a lot of work on. If you are like me, or if you don't have a laptop and only use a tablet but still need to edit videos, try this editor, you might like it. And also check out reviews of other video editors and choose the one that suits you best. Dare to create and see you soon!